Hello and welcome to FIA Pure Motorsport. On this week's episode, we'll show you the opening of the FIA European Autocross season. We'll introduce you to some promising racing drivers with famous fathers. We also have the first stop of the FIA European Rally Trophy season, and much, much more from the world of FIA Motorsports. Seelow is a small town 70 kilometers east of Berlin on the border of Poland. Almost every one of the 15,000 inhabitants is an autocross enthusiast, and on the evening before the first day of the event, there's a parade of drivers in front of the enthusiastic fans in the center of Seelow. No wonder the teams love to start the new season of the FIA European Autocross Championship here in this town. Everyone is of course looking forward to some spectacular autocross action. In the cross-car category, the Spaniard Ivan Pina starts in the front row. Next to him are European Vice-Champion Juan Jose Moll and Valentin Comte. The reigning European champion David Miat has to start from the second row. Pina in the white cross car has a very good start and takes the lead in the first corner, followed by Comte, Moll and Miat. First, Miat passes Moll for third place, and then he overtakes Comte with a great maneuver on the outside. Now the reigning European Championship only has Ivan Pina in front of him, and they have a gripping fight for the lead. Miat secures the win only in the last lap, but it didn't hurt that Chinchilla's cross car was damaged. Miat wins the first race of the new season, Chinchilla comes second, and Comte is in third.
In the last lap, I was lucky because I think he broke a little bit things on his kart. If I continue in the last corner, it's the win.
In the junior buggies, European champion Arnaud Florian is in the best starting position. Czech driver Martin Kolomny and Malone Fuyada complete the front row. Fuyada has the best start. Arnaud Florian has to fend off Kolomny's first attacks. In the following laps, a duel for the lead develops between Florian and Fuyada. Malone Fuyada maintains the lead until shortly before the end. Then in the last corner, Florian unpacks the crowbar. The European champion pushes past on the inside. Fuyada drops back to sixth place. Nathan Otting from the Netherlands takes second place. Jakob Safranek secures the last place on the podium. In the buggy 1600 category, European champion Kevin Peters is only on the third row of the grid. This is a chance for the other drivers to be successful. Damien Crepeau in the yellow buggy takes the lead. Behind him are two German drivers, Markus Wibbeler and Marvin Holzleitner. After Wibbeler's retirement, Crepeau and Holzleitner settle the victory between themselves, and the Frenchman makes a momentous mistake shortly before the finish. Holzleitner passes him, and Crepeau also hinders Kevin Peters, who was in third place. That's why Bart van de Putten and Steven Laubach make it onto the podium. The German fans celebrate Marvin Holzleitner's victory and Laubach's third place. Surprise victory by Holzleitner, the Dutchman Bart van de Putten comes second and Steven Laubach in third. Peter Nicodem was the outstanding driver in the Super Buggies last season and deservedly became European champion. Now he wants to defend his title. In the final, he has the best start but is too fast in the first corner and is overtaken on the inside by Mike Barthelin and Vincent Mercier. But Nicodem puts pressure on them and waits patiently for his chance. When it occurs, the champion passes Mercier with a fantastic maneuver. Radek Jordak also squeezes past the Frenchman. Mike Barthelin maintains his lead until he makes a mistake and falls far behind after hammering his car into the wall bank. Peter Nicodem can easily pass him and never relinquishes the lead. A clear success for Peter Nicodem, who also wins the first final of the new season. A perfect start for the Czech teams into the season because Radek Jordik comes in second and Peter Bartos makes it a full Czech sweep of the podium. The new Autocross season has started. Chantal van der Putten is one of the drivers in the cross car class. For the young Dutch woman, this is only her third year in the cross cars, but she has been at home on the autocross tracks of Europe for much longer. Even as a baby, her father, who was a successful autocross driver himself, took her to the racetrack. Not surprising that she wanted to get into the driver's seat herself at some point.
I started racing when I was 12 years old in a Suzuki Swift in the junior class, and that was like with a normal car. And so when I was 15 years old, I started in the buggy with four-wheel drive junior buggy class, and then we started a few races in the European Championship.
In 2019, Chantal and her brother Bart were hard to beat in the junior buggy class.
In 2019 we had like a really good result, so my brother was racing as well, and we were the first and the third in the European Championship.
A success that was hard-earned. From an early age, Chantal is not only allowed to look over her father's shoulder, but also must work on the buggies herself.
When I was 12 I started Autocross, and then I had to prepare my car. So my father was a mechanic, so he already knew a lot, so I learned a lot from him. I really like to weld and make some new things, and also to develop things and drawings. So then I choose engineering, and I can use it in my hobby, so that's very nice.
The hobby became a passion and a profession. She studies engineering, and her fellow students were astonished when they realized that Chantal had a perfect understanding of the theory.
I think when they get to know that I'm a cross car driver or doing autocross, they don't expect it of me, because normally I look as a sweet girl, and then they're like, you're driving a cross car, and then they actually can't believe that I do that. But then I ask for pictures and I show them, and wow, and they think it's very cool, and it is.
After her studies, she also enjoys her second great passion alongside motorsport.
Always from when I was a kid I skied and also snowboarding. Then after my study engineering, I went a season to Ischgl to being a skiing and snowboard instructor. And so I was there for I think 3 or 4 months, and I was just teaching skiing and snowboarding, and did a lot of private lessons, but also with kids and groups. So that was really nice. I did it for 2 seasons, and I really loved skiing.
The now 24-year-old has been racing in the cross car class since 2021. A big change for the young Dutch woman who loves to go full throttle.
If you give full throttle in the turn, I like drifting a lot actually. But when I started driving the cross car, I have to be more careful.
But success was not long in coming. Last year, she started the season well. She feels good and loves life on and around the racetrack.
I think I fell in love with it because I love to be on the races, and also on the races you see the same people and it feels like family, so that's very nice. And it's possible to do it, then I will keep racing. I'm very grateful that we can do this.
And we're looking forward to another cross car season with Chantal van der Putten behind the wheel. The FIA European Rally Trophy has a brand new and totally different look this season. Moving away from the previous format of myriad regional competitions, the ERT has been restructured for 2023, with crews contesting one comprehensive calendar of events for one title. The 2023 FIA European Rally Trophy will be contested over 20 events in 14 countries, with rounds on gravel and asphalt. There will be no separate class titles based on car performance, but a coefficient will be applied according to the number of starters in Rally 2, 3, 4, 5, and RGT cars. If there are 3 starters or less per category, coefficient 1 will apply. 4 to 7 starters, coefficient 2 is used. For 8 or more starters, it's coefficient 3, and so on. This will give the possibility for any driver to win the title regardless of what category car type they drive in ERT. The first event of the new season is the 41st Kowax Valašská Rally ValMez in the Czech Republic. We focus on the Rally 2 and Rally 4 categories. Rally 2 is the second highest category, and the teams drive 4-wheel drive cars with around 290 horsepower. Rally 4 incorporates the highest performance front-wheel drive cars. Apart from the roof hatch and the openings on the bonnet, the Rally 4 retains the appearance of a production car. Under the bonnet, however, is the real competition car, with a sequential gearbox and an engine tuned up to 210 horsepower. An impressive 32 crews representing the Czech Republic, Poland, Romania, and Slovakia are registered for ERT points on the Kowax Valašská Rally ValMez. Because there were more than 8 starters in Rally 2 and Rally 4, coefficient 3 was applied to those 2 categories, meaning rather than scoring the usual 30 points for a win, the winner can score up to 90 points. But first, the teams have to complete 2 legs with 16 stages over 150 kilometers. On the first day, the teams have to complete 8 special stages, and all struggled with the very wet weather conditions. The continuous rain made the roads incredibly slippery. In the Rally 4 category, 3 teams cope best with the adverse conditions and deliver a great 3-way battle for the lead. Krzysztof Spivak and Jakub Navratil are able to win the second special stage in their Opel Corsa Rally 4 and are in the lead for a short time. At the end of the first day, they're in 3rd place. But René Donal and Roman Schweck are only 3 seconds ahead of them in 2nd place. In their Peugeot 208 Rally 4, they end the first day with a strong finish. After 4 special stages, they were only in 3rd place, only to win 3 of the last 4 special stages. Thus, they conquer 2nd place and come within 6 seconds of 1st. First is held by David Stefan and Andrei Victora, a lead they take with a strong 4th special stage. In their Peugeot 208 Rally 4, they are 12 seconds faster than their biggest rivals, over 20 kilometers, and go into the 2nd day with a narrow lead. On day 2, the order at the top remains about the same for a long time. However, David Stefan and Andrei Victora managed to extend their lead 3 special stages before the end, and they are 18.4 seconds ahead of René Donal and Roman Schweck. Krzysztof Spivak and Jakub Navratil are close behind in 3rd place. But the Czechs in their Opel Corsa Rally 4 turn up the heat. On the last 3 stages, they pass René Donal and Roman Schweck for 1st. They secured 2nd place, but are not yet satisfied. Now they attack the leaders, David Stefan and Andrei Victora, with another best time. But the leaders want to defend their title from last year and put in a concentrated final phase. In the end, they're only 1.9 seconds faster than Krzysztof Spivak and Jakub Navratil. They win the Rally 4 class. Krzysztof Spivak and Jakub Navratil finish 2nd, and René Donal and Roman Schweck are 11 seconds behind in 3rd place. In Rally 2, there's a duel for victory right from the start. The first 2 special stages are won by Jan Kopečky and Jan Hlušek in their Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. The next 2 stages go to Filip Mareš and Radovan Bucha, who take a 9-second lead in their Skoda Fabia Rally 2. The counter-attack of Jan Kopečky and Jan Hlušek is not long in coming. They win the last 4 special stages of the first day and reduce the gap to 1.7 seconds, so excitement is guaranteed for the 2nd day. After Jan Czerny and Peter Czernohorski, who had been in 3rd for a long time, had problems with their exhaust and had to give up, Lukáš Kortarba and co-driver Krzysztof Grzyk move up into 3rd place in their Citroën C3 Rally 2, which the Poles defend until the finish, but the gap of more than 3 minutes to the first 2 is too big to intervene in the fight for 1st place. Filip Mareš and Radovan Bucha and Jan Kopečky and Jan Hlušek will have to fight it out between themselves. Both teams start well into the day. The times are the same. Before the 11th special stage, they are separated by only 1.7 seconds. But while Filip Mariš and Rado van Bucha finish with the fastest time, Jan Kopečky makes a serious mistake that costs him a lot of time. He only manages the 7th best time and loses almost 15 seconds to his biggest competitor. The Czech team tries to make up for this on the last 4 stages, and they drive very fast without mistakes, but Filip Mariš and Rado van Bucha don't show any weaknesses at all. They control the action and maintain their lead. The Czechs win the Rally 2 category by 15.4 seconds ahead of their compatriots. The Polish team Łukasz Kortarba and Krzysztof Grzyk complete the podium in 3rd. The second round of the Italian F4 Championship took place at the famous Misano World Circuit. In the first of 3 races of this weekend, Finland's Tuukka Tapponen celebrated a lights-to-flag win, although the Ferrari Junior was under a lot of pressure from Arvid Lindblad throughout the race. He maintained his position and celebrated his first victory in Italian Formula 4. In the second race, Lindblad started from the pole position and immediately took the lead. While the Englishman dominated the race, his Prima teammates fought behind him for positions 2 to 4. In the middle of the race, James Wharton took over Ugo Ugachukwu and moved up into 2nd place. Ugachukwu eventually finished 3rd ahead of the winners of the first race, Tuukka Tapponen. Lindblad also showed his dominant form in the last race of the weekend. At the beginning, Ugo Ugachukwu was still able to keep up, but then Lindblad pulled away with one best lap after another. With his 3rd victory in the 7th race, Arvid Lindblad extended his lead in the overall standings to 48 points ahead of Ugo Ugachukwu. The Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship started into a new season in Misano. In the first of 4 races on the weekend, reigning champion Norbert Kish looked to be breaking from the field in typical 2022 fashion, but already in the 2nd lap he slowed down with mechanical issues and had to park his red truck. That paved the way to victory for Jochen Hahn. The 6-time champion celebrated a commanding victory ahead of Antonio Albacete and Andrei Kurzim. In the 2nd race, Norbert Kish made an impressive comeback. Although he had to start in the back of the field, the Hungarian only needed 5 laps to take the lead. Kish won his first race of the new season with a large lead over Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn. After winning the 3rd race, Kish also wanted to be at the top of the podium in the last race of the weekend. But on a dry track, the Hungarian was not able to start such an impressive chase as on the day before. In the end, he only finished in 5th place. The victory went to Antonio Albacete, who had fought a thrilling battle for first place with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Stefan Fass came in 3rd place. A new generation of racing drivers is growing up. Their surnames are Barrichello, Wurz, Montoya, Fittipaldi, names that are familiar to everyone who is a motorsports fan. Names that have won Formula 1 races, become world champions, that have written motorsports history. Now the sons of Alexander, Juan Pablo, Rubens, and Emerson are trying to write their own motorsports stories.
I think it's just my last name. I have to treat it as normal. I know that people might see it otherwise, but I feel like it's quite normal.
For me as a driver, I don't really care what my last name is. I just go out and drive as fast as I can. It obviously helps to have connections and good relationships with some people, but also it has negative effects. But in the end, yeah, in my opinion, I just focus on doing the best I can, and that's it really.
Honestly, it comes with its benefits and it comes with its downside as well. The upside is that obviously I have a lot more opportunities than some people. But when the opportunity comes around, I have to perform. And obviously the pressure builds a lot more when your last name's Montoya, because people expect a lot more from you than anyone else.
They're driving in the Formula 4, the Formula Regional, and the Formula 3. From a very early age on, motorsports was part of their lives, became their lives. In the process, they were able to learn from the best.
Well, I think my dad has taught me everything that I know, especially in motorsport. And he's always told me that I need to focus on the right thing, to have my mind on the right things. Sometimes just not let your head fly to another subject or anything. Just be very focused on the right thing and be confident. Just have to trust yourself.
Do the sport with dedication and hard work, because it's a very tough sport. So that was the main stuff that he told me that really helps me a lot.
When he's here, he always, he understands how it is to be a driver and the feelings you have with the car. So he always understands my feelings and gives me tips to improve as a driver.
Self-confidence is a basic requirement to be successful in motorsports, and these young drivers need an extra portion because they have some big shoes to fill, but still have to find their own way. The goal is self-evident if the father was a Formula One driver.
Maybe for my future, if I want to go to F1.
Well, my goal is obviously to be a Formula One driver, but I reckon that's pretty hard. I have to trust myself though. But yeah, I just want to be a race car driver and just have a career out of it.
The second stop of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine will take place at the home circuit of the Spanish Grand Prix, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. After the first round, a surprising Martinez Stenshorn took the lead, obtaining his maiden win in the inaugural race and finishing second in race 2. Stenshorn accumulated 43 points in round 1 and has an 8-point margin on the closest pursuer, the Dutchman Kaz Havercourt. In the third place is Italian Andre Kimi Antonelli. With 12 teams ready to compete and over 30 drivers eager to race on the 4,675-meter-long track of one of the most beautiful F1 circuits, which has returned to its original 1991 layout, the stage is set for an exciting weekend of high-speed action and intense competition. In the first 2 races, Andrea Kimi Antonelli has pole position. Next to him in the front row is German driver Tim Tramnitz. Kaz Havercourt and Lorenzo Fluxa are in the second row of the grid. Tramnitz has an excellent start from the outside of the front row to pull alongside pole sitter Antonelli on the long run down to turn 1, slotting into the lead before the braking zone. Behind them, Van Amersfoort Racing's Kaz Havercourt initially looks to the inside before switching back to the outside into the corner, but finding no way through and drops back to third. However, the race is soon neutralized as an incident between the MP Motorsports pair of Dinano Van 't Hoff and Sami Mugwentunov left both beached in the gravel at turn 4. With the marshals unable to remove the cars quickly, the red flag is thrown at the end of the third lap, sending the field into the pits behind the safety car. The leaders maintain position when the racing resumes after 2 laps behind the safety car. Championship leader Martinez Stenshorn has made strong progress from the 8th row in the opening laps, running in 7th behind VIR's Joshua Dufek, who begins to challenge Capietto. Up front, Antonelli is beginning to edge closer to Tramnitz, closing to within a half second at the end of the 8th lap. Havercourt holds a watching brief on the leaders, having built a gap of over a second to Fluxa in 4th. With the gap between the top 3 stabilized, an incident at turn 1 brings out the safety car again with just over 3 minutes plus a lap remaining. With the marshals unable to clear the track for racing to resume, the checkered flag is shown as the drivers cross the line behind the safety car, giving Tramnitz his first victory in the series. Andrea Kimi Antonelli finishes in 2nd place and Kaz Havercourt completes the podium in 3rd. In the second race of the weekend, Tim Tramnitz and Andrea Kimi Antonelli have switched positions in the first row. This time Tramnitz is on the pole position. In the second row, Sami Mugwentunov stands next to Santiago Ramos. Again, Tramnitz makes a strong start from the pole, moving across to take the inside line into turn 1. Antonelli pulls out at the last moment to drive from the inside, but is unable to find a way through. As the leaders pull away, Mugwentunov is able to gap himself from a fierce battle behind between Race Performance Motorsports' Santiago Ramos and Van Amersfoort Racing's Joshua Dufek, with Ramos weaving down the straight on occasion as he tries to break the toe. Up front, the lead wavered around the 1-second mark as Antonelli tries to push Tramnitz into a mistake. On the penultimate lap, he brings the gap down to 0.625 seconds as he makes a final attempt to challenge Tramnitz. As he pushes up close to him, Antonelli runs slightly wide at turn 9, dropping 2 wheels into the dirt on the exit, costing him 0.3 seconds and any chance of a final push. These two are in a class of their own, Tramnitz finishing over 10 seconds ahead of Mugwentunov, who gains compensation from his lap 1 elimination in the weekend's first race. After spinning out at the first race in Imola, Tim Tramnitz makes amends in style and takes his second Formula Regional European Championship victory of the weekend at Barcelona, once again leading home Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Frenchman Sami Magwentinif completes the podium in third. With his successful weekend in Barcelona, Tim Tramnitz takes the overall lead in the standings, but the first three drivers are very close together. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is just 4 points behind the leader, and Kaz Havercourt just 8 points back. That's it for today. On our next episode of FIA Pure Motorsport, we'll show you the FIA Rally Star America Final. We'll also have the first dragster event of the new season, and of course some more truck racing from, this time, the Slovakia ring. Till next time, take care everybody, and ciao.